Hello, welcome to Cooking with Steph-O. Today we are going to make triple chocolate cookies. This is a recipe that I've never made before, so we will try it out and learn together. The first step is to melt bittersweet and unsweetened chocolate in a small saucepan with some butter, and then we have to let it cool for a little while. So while I let that cool, we can work on some other steps. So I'm going to chop this up real fine to melt it, and I need 7 ounces of bittersweet. These bars are 4 ounces each, and it usually works out that about each square is an ounce, but I like to measure it with the scale just to be sure. We're at 5.7 ounces. So we probably need about 2 squares or less. Let's see how accurate that is. That is 6.8. So what's left here on my board should be perfect. Yep, that's right at 7. Dusty. So I just set my bowl on there and then re-zero so that I can start over with my unsweet, which is 5 ounces. So this is the same. Package is 4 ounces as well. And then I had 2 squares left over from a previous recipe. So this is probably going to work out to be this bar. Oh, you know what? This one even says on here a 1/2 ounce. So that's perfect. So this is going to work out just nice. It's going to be this whole bar and then those 2 squares. So like I said, you can measure this if you want. You certainly don't have to, especially since I know this kind had the measurements on it. Honestly, since this one had measurements on it, I'm just going to go with what the package said. So we're just going to put all this in here. Chocolate. Let's see, and we need 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick. melt this real quick and get it cooling, and then when I come back, you and I will put together the rest of the stuff. Hello, welcome back. Our chocolate is melted and it is now set aside and cooling. So now we can finish making the rest of our dough. So we are going to combine our flour, baking powder, and salt. Flour is 1/3 of a cup. This is not flour. Baking powder is 1/4 of a teaspoon, and so is our salt. Well, thought that was going to be way more than that. Just a small measuring cup. Oh well. Alright. In our mixer, we are going to combine sugar and eggs, which is 1 cup of sugar, and 3/4 of brown sugar. 1, 2, 3, and 4 eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beat on medium to high for 2 to 3 minutes. I'm looking for a color change. Yes, it's going to turn light. Good. Our batter has lightened up. Then we are going to add the melted chocolate and then the flour. Now our chocolate is not cooled just yet, but I wanted to get ahead on my steps here. So as soon as the chocolate's cooled, I'll come back and we'll put it together. Welcome back. Our chocolate has cooled and it looks very pretty. We are going to add that to our egg and sugar mixture. The recipe says to just mix until combined. Then we're going to add our flour mixture after that. second because I don't want to over mix it. And since I've never made these before, I'm going to try and actually follow the recipe. Alright, so we're going to add our little bit of flour, baking powder, and salt. This looks really, really good. Now this recipe does call for pecans. Yeah, 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. I don't like pecans or nuts or any of that stuff in my cookies. So when I post the recipe, it'll say on there optional. Obviously, if you want to add them, you certainly can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's the best part about baking and cooking. Do what you want. You don't like it, don't put it in there. Just want to double check the bottom. Oh, I do have some. I'm glad I checked. I have some of that sugar and egg mixture still at the bottom. Messy. Probably not the best recipe to make with a white shirt on, but I did okay. Alright, my instructions say to cover this with plastic wrap and let it sit for 20 minutes. While that's happening, I will do some dishes and clean up. Okay? See you guys back in a bit. We'll put them in the oven. Hello and welcome back. We are, I know this seems like a lot of steps, but I'm sure they are worth it because they smell and look amazing. Looks like brownie dough. So the next step is to scoop these out, put them on a cookie sheet. It says either with parchment paper or foil. I'm gonna try it with the silicone mat and see how it does. It does say to drop them by the spoonful, so I'm trying to just kind of gently scoop them because the dough is sort of fluffy, sticky, almost like a mousse or a pudding. So we'll see how we do. I'm only gonna do one tray like this just as an experiment to see how they bake. And then if these come out okay, then I will keep doing this method for the next round. The directions say bake at 350 for 9 minutes or until the tops are set. We'll put these in the oven. Be back in a second. Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that I ended up pulling these a little sooner than the recipe called for because it says until the tops are set. And those look pretty set to me. They also need to cool on here for a minute, and then we're going to take them off and put them on a cooling rack. So I'm going to set that one over there and get my other tray ready. I think this amount for this tray worked out nice too because they do spread a little bit. And I think this size scoop worked out nice too. timer for taking them out. So I maybe pull them 30 to 45 seconds sooner than 9 minutes. So not by much. Okay, I'm gonna put this batch in the oven, and then when we come back, we will put the chocolate drizzle on top of the cookies. Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to update you on these chocolate cookies. So I made a second batch, and while the second batch was baking, I tried to take the first set off the cookie sheet, and it did not go well. So I'm not sure. Yeah, this is not really gonna go well either. See? So I either didn't bake them long enough, or it's because they're too small. So I did make the next batch bigger. I used a more standard size scoop. So I'm gonna let these set on the tray longer than the recipe calls for and see what happens. But they taste amazing. They taste like brownie cookies. So I'm gonna call this video quits and keep testing this out and see what's going on. But I'll let you guys know in the comments what ends up happening with these. Okay? Thanks.